4 beers deep.
I'm a grumpy old man.
I am being abused on this show. No, we're professional now. This is very strange.
Tipple of the week. We're officially 4 beers deep.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Old fat necker.
My name is Rennes and I approve this message.
Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of 4 Beers Deep, the Front Room Sessions. It is the podcast that is now levelled up and we are ready and building towers apparently.
I was going to, but I
Do you want to cover the money maker?
Yeah, that's it. That's where I'm at.
So as you may be able to tell, as we're hoping you can now see us, this is carried on from last week's episode because we thought, why not? We're breaking in the new bar still, and while we're here, let's just make a night of it. Why not? And most importantly, we have Welsh Jason for the full episode this time. Thank you. You ready? I'm going to point to do it. Ready?
He's Welsh Jason.
Yes! One more time. Hang on. One more time.
He's Welsh Jason. We fucking nailed that.
Yes.
There's still morons.
Ah, you fucking wank stain.
There's a glass cabinet there.
God. Hey,
The ultimate highs, the ultimate lows.
what a roller coaster. Now I understand, Ronan.
What a great metaphor for life that was. Instant karma.
I tell you what, I've killed Stan.
Yeah, I told you. Stan's feet have gone. He's
And
old.
this bloke.
That's Tony Stark. He's dead
He's
anyway.
fucked. Oh, he's dead anyway.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's dead anyway.
So, we are starting off this week's episode with the same energy that we had for last week's episode.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, okay, one of us is drinking coffee, let's be honest.
And the other one said, look, we're not getting drunk. And I said, that was silly.
Some of us can handle our alcohol and are not getting drunk. So, anyway.
Cheers, damn it.
Yeah. No, you're welcome.
So, we're going to move on to this week's episode. A mega pint. Yep. So, the mega pints are back, and this is going to be a bit of a running theme, isn't it? Part of the FBD, or part of Bar FBD.
Bar FBD.
That's going to be the next sign going up behind us is Bar FBD, by the way.
I can sign.
You can sign? What, as in, like...
Don't be... That's offensive.
I'm not. You said you could sign, and I'm
You're
just
such a
simply
cunt.
saying.
That's so offensive. Please apologise by signing to the audience.
No? Okay.
Yeah, that means I'm a clown.
Oh, okay. That both work. Anyway,
Random.
we have we have the mega pints here. Should we get in with this week's tipple?
Yes. I'll start it off.
Yeah, why not? Considering you're the rogue of the gallery here.
So, following on from last week's tipple where I had the Audi or Lidl, because I don't remember where I went, I had their Punk IPA redo.
Yeah.
This week, I have got Memphis Boulevard, which I assume is their Elvis juice mock-up. Again,
I mean, it's
brewed,
pretty on the
definitely,
nose, isn't it?
The colour tones are the same. It's Memphis and Elvis. It is.
Yeah.
Grapefruit infused. Again, that's exactly what Elvis juice is. Brewed in Scotland, I imagine, from the same place as what was that other one called? Anti-establishment or something.
Yeah.
The only real difference is this one is much nicer, and
Is it?
yeah, much.
It's got a good colour to it.
Have a sip. It looks like my piss in the morning.
Or Carl's on the beach.
And that makes me really want to take a sip.
No, it's delicious. A grapefruit infused IPA, again brewed in Scotland. The only real difference is this one's slightly heavier hitting, 6.5. Same price though.
That's not bad, is it?
That's got
Same
a
price,
strange aftertaste, but I suppose Elvis juice probably does as well.
Well, I don't know. I've never noticed. I've always just drunk it, not examined it. That's the real thing.
Well,
where
I'm a
here.
connoisseur. What can I say? Hence why when I hold my mega pint, I like to hold it
Sorry.
and swill it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You
no.
said
So
you're a connoisseur.
you're a connoisseur. Now, please explain to the ladies and gentlemen
What you're drinking.
what your tipple is. I'll give them a clue. It's fucking Carlsberg Export.
No, I haven't started with that yet. Technically, I'm still
It's like me saying I'm
Well, you're gonna have to know it's a new. Hey, it's a new week. Out with the old.
exactly. So let me say I'm a connoisseur of painting. I like to paint with dog shit. The same fucking crap.
And sometimes, for a little bit of a curveball, virgin blood.
Look. Currently, the beer pump is Carlsberg. So
Is that?
we've got to pour some Carlsberg Export out of it, haven't we?
Carlsberg don't do lagers, but if they did, they'd be shit. They're fucking advert.
If they did, they would be average at best.
Yeah, but Carlsberg is average at best. But Carlsberg Export is actually nice. So, okay, little hint into my life being a
Gay.
maybe being fucking idiot. Being a father and to a young family, and I couldn't afford that much, so I would often buy. Before I noticed that Aldi and Lidl did,
You would
actually
often
some
buy
decent-
beer instead of food.
For the kids.
Listen, you won't notice you're hungry if you get plastered, son. And I'm not being funny. It's £2.50 for that ready meal. They're fucking 50p a tin in here.
Anyway, who needs toad in a hole?
Yeah.
No.
If you're that desperate, I'll put my toad in your roll.
Fucking hell, that got
Jesus.
dark.
Now drink the Carlsberg, you bastard.
No, so I didn't realise that because I tried a few things. He's still kicking away to himself. I didn't notice that Aldi and Lidl actually had some fairly nice beers that got introduced to me a little bit later on, but before I noticed the joys of Perlenbacher, my favourite beer was Carlsberg Export.
Such a tit. I mean,
Maybe, but
don't we get started on Perlenbacher? And
Also, don't ever call that a beer.
mate, do you drink Foster's as well?
No, that's banned. That's banned.
I'm sorry, my friend. Go and wash your mouth out.
Oh, there is a line then. I said there is a line.
It's a fucking low bar, but there is a bar.
Carlsberg and Carling will never be drunk in this bar. I put my finger down now, or in the second bar.
Very good.
I mean,
I'm glad to hear that. To be fair,
I hate to bring it to a very serious tone,
makes a change.
but I'll cut your fucking hands off.
What if you bring it in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
agree.
shall we pour some
Yeah.
Carlsberg Export?
Allow me to.
Oh, that sounds good already.
It's a good tap action.
Yeah,
I've got
there
here,
we
isn't
go.
it? It's the new. It's the new Vortex tap.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it says it here. Look,
Just be careful with the tip.
There we
There we
go.
go.
just lick the tip.
Poured to perfection. Thank you very much for that.
No,
kind
you're
barman.
welcome. You're welcome. Anytime.
James
Honestly,
Carlsberg.
anytime.
So much Carlsberg. Yeah.
As it's a tipple, it has to go where the tipples go, doesn't it? Each tipple has its place.
Do you know what?
Should we just look?
As long-
Look, Carl. Look.
There we are, Carl. See?
There we go. Oh fuck! We still got last week's tipple.
Oh yeah, shit.
Nobody saw.
No one knows. No, we didn't. There we go.
I
That's
can
that
go all
problem,
over
problem
Do you know what?
solved.
I gave up legs, bums, and tums of this.
And he did.
Whose?
You're so very kind.
Thank you.
You can cut that out. Oh, that's nice.
But a
Thank
kiss,
you.
not the face. Thank you.
So yes, I gave
Anyway,
up legs, bums, and tums of this shit. doesn't make me sound good. Trust me.
Okay.
15 lovely ladies perving away. It's all great perving them.
How does everyone? Yeah, come on. I think you should tell us a little bit about your gym experience. Oh, don't get it on the carpet. There we go.
Sorry. It's just,
Well, okay.
can't help it, it's just
Recently,
fucking
4 months ago.
the barman lean.
Gotta hang on it.
Go on, 4 months ago.
Right, Maverick. Right,
I wish someone had got a still of that. Personally, you leaning on the top and me leaning on this. That was kind of Ant and Dec-esque.
What shit?
Yeah.
Randomly.
The highlight of their career was a thing they did on children's television called Wonky Donkey.
Exactly, and also
Was it though, or was Let's Get Ready to Rumble the highlight?
Let's
of
get
their career?
ready, let's get ready to rumble.
Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic.
Psych. We could be them.
I was hoping he was going to do
No,
that.
no.
Jason listens to other things.
Anyway,
Well,
anyway,
you can hear us.
for the second week in a row, I'll lead us back to sanity. Or not. He's Welsh, Jason.
Got to do the dance as well.
He's Welsh, Jason.
You've got it nailed.
I'm getting good at that.
Nailed.
Anyway, as I was saying, for the second week in a row, I'll lead us back to sanity.
Thank you.
4 months.
You're hiding behind the
I went
pump.
to the gym 4 months ago, and because I was fat, and now I'm not as fat.
You're not.
No, 'cause I went to the gym. That's why.
You're-
Fucking cure. Fucking cure. innit?
You just big
does
boned
cure
it,
it.
mate.
Yeah.
You just big boned it.
No, so
yeah.
weirdly,
I've got cheekbones now.
I started the gym.
In my arse. But no.
So I started the gym
Yeah.
slightly longer ago, but for the same reason. And I'll be honest, I've made less progress than you have.
Is that? Yeah, but it's because you're drinking. With all due respect, I'm not going to be that person.
No,
Hey,
no,
I'm
no.
drinking and I've lost a stone in a month.
This is the thing. Arguably now, it was my diet. So in my job, in my previous job, you have to cook dinners and sleep in, and they don't eat vegetables or fruit or and I'm a lazy man. I'm not cooking 2 dinners. I'm just not.
So what did you eat? Do you like is it like animal, dead animal with dead
No,
animal,
so they'd eat like
frozen pizza?
yeah, stuff from the freezer or fucking
Basically, stuff you buy in Iceland.
Yeah,
as in the store,
you
not
could-
the
yeah.
country. Right, okay.
or like heavy pastas and stuff.
So yeah, I just started feeling like fat and lethargic. So I just basically wanted to lose some weight. So that's
There's nothing wrong with that. That's,
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's
also-
amicable, man.
There's
Like,
also some very, very lovely ladies down the gym. That's what I'm saying.
right, and now you just turned it cynical.
What? So
Christ, Jason.
so
Hey,
in my
it's 4 beers deep. It's not a documentary, right?
so in my new job, so I'm going to start morning running. I want to get Boscombe Pier, Bournemouth Pier, and back to Boscombe Pier. It's 5k.
Yeah.
I want to inside a month get that from being like a brisk walk to a run in the mornings every morning, and then 2 nights a week go boxing and 2 nights a week do weight training in the gym.
Just remember to give your body some rest.
Yeah, the weekend.
Yeah, whilst in the pub. But just basically seriously.
Hey, reward yourself.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
With a kebab.
these 2 pussies are going to carry on talking about their weight loss journeys. We're going to do a bit of Would You Rather.
No, I'll join you. Go on.
Join me? Okay, then. So,
I'll carry this fucking podcast. Jesus. Would you rather have to... Oh, here you go. Shit superpowers. Would you rather be able to blink and fast forward your life 10 minutes per blink, however, caveat, every blink,
Okay.
10 minutes of your life fast forward,
Spreadsheets are boring, man, so it's possible.
or would you rather be able to turn off and on...
Through, have you?
This is quite long-winded, but yeah, go on. Turn off and on.
Turn and
No, I was going to
move
say...
and
No.
put the...
No, every... Look,
No, God.
blink 10 minutes forwards,
Yeah.
or be able to turn off and on time is what I was going to say, like Bernard's watch.
That's not quite an equal... Okay, so I spend a lot of time making sure that these are kind of even. That's not equal.
It's a video I
Being
heard
able to
it- no.
turn off time altogether or
Oh, yeah.
blink forward 10 minutes.
I think it's turn
No.
off time forever.
No. So here's the thing. So it's something. It's off the back of a video that I watched on TikTok, and I thought the same as you. Easy. Turn off time. I Bernard's watch it. Pause. Play.
Isn't that what Cher did?
Like
I
I-
turn off time.
No.
That was very tiny little G-string type thing as well.
Yes, it was.
And,
Anyway,
had to do
but-
that on the ship, and I had to
so-
do a very shit routine
So
to
there
it. Anyway,
turned out to be this great debate, like because everyone was like, "It's the easiest question in the world." I'd like to be able to just pause time,
I mean,
and then unpause it as and when.
I did it last week when I went to the valleys.
Verge, right on the cusp.
Yeah, last weekend.
No, so people started asking questions like, yeah, but if you pause time,
Yeah.
eventually over the course of like 5 or so years, you've aged. Like you've aged greater than the
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Yeah, no. So
When you
your
say
life
pause,
carries on. You carry on always.
Is it a Zach Morris style pause?
Who's Zach Morris?
Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. He used to pause time, and he'd come up and talk to the camera for a little bit, and then he'd walk back and he'd be like, "Okay, start time again."
No. So
Jesus Christ, did you not grow up in the 90s?
yeah, no, I did. Yeah, it's
Well, you
shameful.
should know
I
Saved
should
by
have
the
known
Bell.
Zach as well. Anyway,
The guy looks like
Saved by
fucking
the Bell was
Zach
actually
Morris.
first started in the 80s, so just let you know that.
no. Thank you so
98.
much. Anyway, ask your questions, but basically, you age constantly. You constantly age. Your life constantly goes forward. So over
Not
the
Cher.
course of time,
Not Cher.
we're not talking about Cher. She could only turn back time.
She did.
She could only find a way.
To 1977.
So I was slightly out. I said 92.
91.
93.
What, when it first aired in the UK, yes.
No.
I know I can't be bothered. I'm making this up. I'm just winding you up. Saved by the Bell was not really my thing, to be honest. Hi, Gandalf. What is straight Gandalf doing now?
I have fucking no idea what the straight Gandalf is doing. I know what gay Jesus is doing. P.S. That
He said it, ladies and
no,
gentlemen.
that's how. So someone at Pride. So I went to Pride, obviously a couple of weeks ago now.
The Lions, though.
Or a few weeks ago, as
Oh, yes, there's a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because it's
So-
now 30th of July, isn't it?
And so someone was a little bit about like upon entry they weren't in the Pride event, but they were a little bit on the entrance being slightly homophobic.
Oh.
And
Why would they
being
get Pride then?
being kind of dickish.
Then why go there?
And well, this was my point. But I said to them, so I had my hair down at this point because the tattoo was quite new, and I introduced myself to them
Still a
as
bit raw.
gay Jesus, and they took offence to that.
And
they
he
said,
has a go at me calling him the council estate Elton John.
no, they had that. No,
Elton John's not gay, though. He's just misunderstood.
well, Elton John might not be.
I don't think we actually introduced ourselves
What, you and Elton John? What?
back right at the beginning.
It's too late now.
We
They know who we are. We don't get any
straight
listeners.
past it.
Look, bollocks.
I would do the time one because
They're both time ones.
Okay.
Pausing it or blinking 10 minutes ahead.
pausing it because I did that last weekend in the valleys. I had to do it to survive. So yeah, I would go that one. By the way, I love the valleys. They're amazing. I even got the Harry Potter bus to the valleys.
The Ronda.
Didn't go there under like. No, I didn't go there.
okay.
I went to Crynant.
That's not.
You can find it on Wikipedia.
So
You can't spell
I mean, if
Wikipedia.
you've got the choice between pausing time entirely and blinking forward 10 minutes,
Yeah,
you're
but
gonna
no-
go with pausing
Yeah,
time.
but the caveats of pausing time is that the timeline continues. I tell you what we'll do. Blank that whole thing out. You read yours.
Here we go with the next one. Would you rather be forced to sit watching Loose Women all day, or The Only Way is Essex?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Loose women. They're good girls. Loose women.
I love that phrase. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. He says it so often, and I love it.
I without hesitation, as my search history would dictate, I would Loose Women.
Loose
Can I ask? Is
Really?
The Only Way Essex? Is that a geographical program? I don't know what that is.
No, it's not about geography. It's about I think it's about.
Hang on, you can't say I think it's about when we spent about 20 minutes last week 2 weeks ago, discussing Joey Essex.
Yeah, no, I was about to say I think it's about the product of incest when they get given daddy's credit card. But you've ruined that, so blank that out as well.
No. See, that's where you're wrong. That is what's the Chelsea one?
Made in
Chelsea. That's that one with the daddy's
What's the only way of Essex?
The only way is
I
Essex.
only know
is
Joey
more
Essex.
Spray tans and fucking pedicures and manicures.
Oh, your life then.
I mean, I'll be honest.
I mean,
But I think I'd rather watch Loose Women because it's loosely based around current affairs
it's
and the
topical.
news.
pun
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Thanks very much for the pun. So,
That was funny.
okay, the problem with Loose Women
Is you can't feel it.
is
Is there morals? Clues my name.
these are people who are past a certain age and they've become quite cynical on life, or they have very stringent views on things, and a lot of the times those views are bullshit. I'm gonna be honest here.
So can I just? I'm going to chime in. But who are the hosts of it now?
I God knows.
Because I thought
I've been
that,
employed gainfully for a while. And
But
I've
I thought. Do you remember the Saturday? No, not the Saturdays. Was she from the Saturdays or was she from
What,
Rochelle?
Frankie? Oh, Rochelle.
Where's she from?
She probably fucking does it because she does everything that.
No,
they'll
I
pay her
thought
to
she.
do.
But she's of a similar age, bro. Like.
Okay, so Rochelle is probably a little bit younger than us. Well, maybe
You-
around your
you
age.
definitely.
Right, fair enough. Fuck off. Okay, so most of the loose women that I know,
My age.
most of the loose women I know are, what's her name? Janet Street Porter and Nadia Sawalha and people like that.
I know a couple of these women.
That
named
are
Felsen.
just these people. I mean, God bless them.
True story.
Once upon a time, may have been
Hot.
lovely. All right, let's remember
No, but I thought
we're
we
being
were.
recorded.
I thought it was meant to be like comedy value as well.
Yeah, it is. It is. They
That's
may
why I
have-
turned up.
they
That's
may
the only
have-
reason turned up.
they
That
may
and put the
have
chicken
been-
breast in the fridge.
They may.
We've been in there for over a week now, everyone. Over a week.
We need to get you
Over a
bit.
week. Chicken breast been in there.
Okay, so these are people who have grown very cynical on life and quite often get themselves cancelled, especially if your surname's Nolan. But they...
Which Nolan? Christine?
No.
What was the Nolan? Is Christine even a Nolan?
What was her fuck? Yeah, Christine was one of the Nolans, but I think she's the one.
Why is she not working on the roadways?
No, what's her name? Colleen. Colleen Nolan.
I think
was the one
I
that
meant
did it
Colleen
for a
rather
while.
than Christine. But so I've not watched Loose Women since I was old enough to be able to say, "Mum, I'm going out."
I mean, even when I was a fucking parent, like growing up with a young family and having to look after my kids, and it's on in the TV, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, couldn't stand it, couldn't fucking stand it, and I can't understand how women watch it. And I am generalising there, and I apologise if I am generalising, but let's be honest, it's made for women. That programme is not made for men. Otherwise, they would have probably very different people presenting it.
So can we assume you would rather watch The Only Way Is Essex?
I mean, I'd rather cut my fucking eyes out.
It's your question.
I know, but
Don't-
I would rather cut my fucking eyes
Right,
out.
so-
But if I had to do anything, it would be The Only Way Is Essex. Even though they are vacuous and tedious and
big
fucking
word.
awful people, I would probably rather watch that, because at least sometimes you can laugh at just how stupid they are. Whereas at Loose Women, you're just going to watch it and just be angry a lot.
Okay.
And that's my answer, ladies
So
and
shall we?
gentlemen.
What's your next? Would you
Okay, so
rather?
Exactly.
for our listeners abroad, or our watchers, or viewers, I should say now, abroad, in America, for example, it goes under a different name. It's not called Loose Women. What's it called over there? The one with Whoopi Goldberg.
Now to
It's called Dirty Bitches.
I'd watch that.
It's called Whoopee. I'm back on the telly.
Whoopi, someone's paying me to do something.
Although
Whoopee up the shithead.
one up the bum. No, I'm done.
Doesn't
Although
even bring it up.
can I just say?
Okay, this is how much Whoopi Goldberg values the show that she's doing. It doesn't even show up on her IMDb.
Or mine.
Or mine.
Because I've been
Wow.
in several things. I was in that Dragon show, Dragon Run 6. Great.
It's on Dragon's Den. I went there with 4 kilos of heroin. They didn't want anything to do with me. But I bought it for a bargain.
Exactly.
It was The View. So for our American listeners, which make up quite a large percentage of our listeners or viewers, The View is similar to Loose Women. So where you get a bunch of women of a certain age that all come together and just spout out their views on things. Over here, Loose Women, I know, is a very particular term in America. It is here as well, which is why it's amazing that they call the TV program that. We still can't believe it.
But okay, would you be more inclined to watch it if it was called Loose Men?
No.
No, all right, fair
Because
enough.
that suggests it's a completely different demographic altogether.
How about it's called Spicy Nicey?
Maybe. Depends what it's all about.
You're in.
If it was called... Right, okay. Mix it up a bit. Okay, let's move on, shall we? So, on to the next one. And this is probably going to be the last one because we've got some other things to move on to. So, would you rather talk like you're from Bill and Ted or like you're Boris Johnson for the rest of your life?
Bill and Ted.
It's a stupid question. Bill and Ted.
Is it though?
Yes.
Because it depends what circles you
No.
move in. I think you're giving away what circles you move
No.
in, whereas I'm a refined gentleman and
No,
maybe...
So you would like to call someone...
So you're a Tory. Really?
So you would like to call someone a protoplasmic porcupine for not... Would you not like to challenge me? Rather than go... Oh wait, no, I was about to quote...
Socrates.
Would you rather go, dude, oh my god, this is crazy, this is fucking radical, dude.
A.
That's going in the
so-
opening titles.
So I wish I had a soundbite that went... Ding, 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 ding.
To be fair, Carly,
I am Bill S. Preston Esquire, and this is Ted Theodore Logan, and together we are
Wild Stallions!
going in.
Yeah, no.
You should have jumped in on that.
Honestly and truly, Bill and Ted. And I'd like to say, on a serious note, genuinely and truly, on a real heartfelt, serious note, by Boris, you fat wanker. I hope you fucking rot in some kind of
Eaten hell.
Yeah, I hope a pig fucks you fat waffle-headed. What's your next question?
Oh yeah.
Honestly, led the country into depravity and then leaves calling it a success.
Hang on.
And now his
Depravity.
two successors are fucking big ears or the fucking stupid. I won't rest until British apples are back on the shelves. They've never left the shelves, you stupid fuck.
Someone
I've been in
actually said
Beijing trying to renegotiate the pork market.
Who said that?
It's Sunak and what's her name?
Liz Truss.
Yeah, Liz. She's she, and I'll use this term with a bleep, I would imagine.
No.
She is
Or a twat waffle.
she's a beep
Twat waffle.
as I said. And Sunak he's a poisonous as well.
But didn't Rishi Sunak at least give us the energy payback? So we at least all got 140 odd quid.
Yeah, no, we did. We did get
He's done
140
one
odd.
thing.
We did get 140 odd quid, except for our bills went up by more than that.
They did,
and he
but
did also take
suppose he did something.
5 pence off of the duty tax on fuel. So you saved 5p at the pump. However, at the point they implemented that, fuel went up by 25p at the pump. So what he's done there is nothing.
Yeah, he's got
nothing.
We could put it up by 30p, but we'll put it up by 25.
Effectively.
You're welcome.
Hey,
You are welcome.
hey, I could really help you out, or I could spit in your mouth. And do you know what he's done? Spat in your mouth. And
you must like it.
And do you know what some people have done? Oh, but he's trying. He is trying. It's with it. Oh, but he's doing all he can. No, No. Sorry. I'm not about all wealth should be equal, but I am about corporations paying the correct amount of tax, and I'm about equalising that. Cost of living doesn't affect him.
No.
His wife's a multi-billionaire.
And-
that took...
She?
Yes.
Yeah.
That...
I did not know that.
But also, his wife got in government grants close to the tune of £1 million.
Sorry, I'm just going
She
to
has a
translate
business.
for the public. He said grant. But yeah, come.
Yeah, she has got multiple businesses that liquefied, owing multiple millions of pounds.
Wow, I did not know
And
that.
Under his regime, that's how life will go.
Bit like Barcelona Football Club.
That's
literally.
exactly.
Literally. Financial fair play be damned. But anyway.
Hey, if I can't spell it, it's not real. Except for this cunt's privately educated, he can spell it. It's still not real.
So,
Go on, a positive one. Go on.
let's move on to...
Yeah.
Have you heard that apparently the pandemic of hidden cameras in Airbnbs is a rising threat?
Yes, I have actually.
Question. What?
So you know Airbnb?
I have
So
been.
that-
I have
so there
actually
are-
used them before. Yes.
You have, yeah.
So there are
I've put some cameras in.
shitload.
I have heard of them, and I have placed a lot of cameras.
so there are a shitload of reports of Airbnb hosts having hidden cameras in places like smoke alarms, but smoke alarms being placed directly above beds. And,
Is this like an urban myth or?
No.
being
It's
proven.
actually a thing, and
In this country or other
no,
countries?
All over.
like, but it's prevalent also in this country. However, what off the back of that, every time I go, whether it's a travel lodge or a Premier Inn, or
Yeah.
whether I'm renting a flat. So this weekend coming, I'm Airbnb-ing an apartment in Bristol.
Okay.
The first thing I do is I put a sandwich bag or something
Oh, do
over
you?
the smoke alarm
You actually
with
cover
an
it?
elastic band.
Really?
Yeah, because if they're above beds, or if they're outside of areas where fires are likely,
Yeah.
you don't need to see. Also, I don't want to sound like a dick, so I've stopped smoking cigarettes, but I vape, and that's still banned under the same laws of smoking. But if I want to have like a quick couple of tokes on a vape before I go to bed, I don't want
Okay.
a smoke. I don't want a smoke alarm going off. That's a lot of drama.
I've only
So
ever
I
stayed in it.
always cover smoke alarms. I never do. I never do any weird, like it's just it's a thing that's just been ingrained because so I grew up in the generation the hidden camera generation where you'd have teddy cams and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
like the nanny cams.
yeah, so but now it's a fucking thing that there are people.
Is this like for sexual gratification? That's what.
Well, no, there has been a lot
Partly.
of there's been a lot of people that have appeared in. I suppose the category would be voyeur, like because
Yeah.
it's like on porn sites they've appeared in videos
you.
that they didn't give consent to
Got
make,
you.
nor did they know had been made.
So
Like
when I
IRL.
got you, so
videos.
basically when I found that dog in Cologne and I took the dog back, it was a female dog. I'm not weird. And then yeah, I understand what you're saying though. that could be filmed.
Well's Jason, everybody.
But no, in all seriousness though, it's a fucking
Good
there
breed,
is
actually. Good breed.
there is a problem there.
Literally.
No, fair enough. No, that's disturbing. I've only ever been to one Airbnb, which was actually in Cologne or
Yeah.
Köln.
So
And no,
But equally, if it's not,
I didn't think
if it's
that.
not like a sexual nature, I don't like the idea of being spied on.
because also not everyone's doing sexual. They might just make sure that you aren't trashing the place.
Yeah, but
yeah,
by
but
the
not above the bed. And
but by the same
No,
token,
granted.
by the same
Against your
token,
will.
if it's Airbnb, You know who trashed it because you've got the contact. You go in the next morning and go, oh, well, this place has been trashed.
But it wasn't the tenant people there. It must have been. Yeah, I know exactly. But
I'll check my secret cameras. No,
The old UV light out.
You call the person that was last in there, explain to them the situation, and then
say,
tell them
I've still got your credit card details. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no,
Which is what hotels have done for years.
or say to them, because I think there's a disparity in rules between hotel and Airbnb.
Yeah.
Whereas a hotel can just oh, you've drunk this, oh, you've trashed this, I'll charge you. I don't think Airbnb have the same thing, which is why people do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, I do think that people just go, well, it wasn't broken when you rented it, and it is broken now, and it's going to cost me X amount, so I'm going to take you to court.
Yes, it was hassle.
Like-
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. I mean, I've actually got fish with Airbnb because part of it's a great idea. It's saves money and stuff. But in certain cities, Airbnb have caused so much trouble with basically, kind of put it bluntly, reducing housing stock for locals and stuff.
No, but that's the thing.
And that's another problem with
It's-
Airbnb.
Airbnb, whilst I do use it, it's not because it saves me money. Like this weekend, for example, I could have stayed in.
Is this your haven trip?
No. I'm going to
Bristol.
Bristol this weekend.
Please listen, Carl. Please listen.
Yeah, keep up for fuck's sake. So we could have stayed somewhere for cheaper.
That's the problem,
We
right?
could have stayed in multiple hotels for cheaper
Okay.
or whatever. But
Is it because you like the voyage?
well, no, it's because we're there. It's because we're there for a weekend, and we were like, okay, well, we arrive on the Friday.
If we're going to give someone
I don't
want to
go out. No,
give them a proper show.
I don't want to go out like and I'm going to get off the train. I don't want to have to go out and fuck about. Like I want to get off the train, dump my stuff somewhere, go to a shop, buy food, make
Okay.
food, have a quiet evening,
Okay.
then go out and then come back to somewhere where I can make food. Like
Couple
it's
life, we wouldn't know, mate.
What this woman is it?
Airbnb provides home from home.
Okay.
Like
That's what it was built on, yeah.
Yeah, it's much the same as if I was going out in Bournemouth, I could come home and make food and I've got a comfy bed and
Yeah.
But where if you go to say, if you want to save money, go to like a travel lodge or something, you go back and you know that you need to eat before
You need to eat out. Yeah, in a restaurant probably.
and breakfast is going to be some less than mediocre bullshit fucking put on buffet of manky sausages and overcooked scrambled egg.
Or
Like, you don't need
or
that.
saying that, or the hotel. And on a serious note, you're quite correct. I mean, I would say one thing: the hotel I was last in Berlin. They're not listening. I'm pretty confident of that. Basically, I took back about 60 to 70 euros worth of food and alcohol into their hotel room. Basically, just gave the receptionist a 10 euro note. It's called a bribe, and job done.
Well, that's the great thing about living in England. If you can take back £1 million worth of cocaine, it doesn't matter. You just give the Travelodge people the nod. All right.
But you try getting a freaking meal deal for the door. Jesus.
That's because they've got on-site restaurant. No, I'm kidding. No.
Well,
like,
no, it is.
In England, it's
They want
fairly
you to get
relaxed.
room service.
They don't give a fuck. Same. It's a myth. The same as the cinema. You can't take your own sweets into a cinema.
Oh my god, I've never.
I'm not-
I mean, there was one time I bought food in there,
Oh,
which
but
was probably the time before last I went
I'll
to the
buy
cinema. and
popcorn at a cinema, but I'm not taking
Yeah.
them packet in
I
sweets.
will not buy popcorn there either. Okay, moving on from Airbnb, we have. I mean, I've got a couple of things here that I would kind of like to get onto. For a little while, you've been asking me to come up with conspiracies.
Yes.
Now, this isn't a conspiracy, but this is and we've not done it for a few weeks now, a good old-fashioned rabbit hole.
Okay. What have you got?
Right. There is a gentleman called Tony Rodriguez.
I don't think I know him.
No. Look him up. Now, Tony Rodriguez is under the belief, or certainly writes books about being under the belief, that he was kidnapped as a child by
By who?
aliens.
Aliens, of course.
What, Mexicans?
I'm an illegal
Well,
alien.
Just hold your horses there.
I'm sure our Texan friends love that joke.
So he was kidnapped.
Manuel and the boys.
He was kidnapped by aliens, and they told him at the time we're going to kidnap you for 20 years. However, you will get these 20 years back. Very important point here. And in that 20 years, you're going to get to see the galaxy.
Cool.
And you're going to get to serve our purposes but you're only going to get to do one run of this because the way your DNA works, we can only do this once. Because apparently with others, you can do it multiple times.
They must have the triple
Apparently.
helix.
Exactly. So, according to Tony Rodriguez, he was kidnapped, agreed to do this run of 20 years, and somehow, according to his story, ended up running drugs for the cartel.
What, the alien
In
cartel?
South
no.
America.
So here's the thing.
Hang on, let me finish. He became what they call a remote viewer for the cartel. Now, if nobody knows what a remote viewer is, this is somebody who uses meditation to remote view anywhere, not only in the world,
But the galaxy?
but in the solar system.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say
And
seven
beyond that.
seas.
And beyond that.
Traveled the
I was
world and the
tempted.
seven seas.
I was tempted to be honest.
Everybody's looking for someone. Anyway, so this guy claims to have, for 20 years, was part of this space force hired by aliens to remote view for the rich and famous, to run drugs for the cartel, and to go out on space missions with aliens to go and do all these different weird things. And then at the end of his 20 years, was then regressed in time back to his 10-year-old self, where he then continued his life as it was when he was 10 years old.
With all the memories.
With all the memories.
Yeah, but
But
so
he-
here's the thing.
Has he made a good
He-
book to that, this?
I don't know
There's
if
your-
it's good or not.
There's your
But-
answer. It's a book deal job, isn't it?
Here's the reason you know that's bullshit. If aliens came to this country, or come to this world, sorry, are they going to be running coke? No.
This is exactly the reason why I
Hey,
think.
we are such an advanced life form that we have travelled across the cosmos from distances that you can't even fathom, let alone travel to.
But let's do a line.
Also, I need you to run 15 kilos of coke from Peru to Europe, and I need you to do it on a one-man plane. So you're going to have to learn, okay?
And I need you to remote view where the police are going to be so
Yeah.
we can get round them.
Yeah. P.S. You'll be all right. You'll be 10 when we're done.
Yeah, we'll put you back in your body.
So what's happened there is he's done all this stuff, got caught, and he's gone, no,
No.
I'm 10. Oh, I'm a little boy.
No, he wasn't caught.
Mate, no, don't worry about me. I'm fucking 10, mate. I'll pick me nose. Dizzy dinosaurs.
And he's Australian now as well. But he was never caught, obviously, because...
To the aliens.
But no, he wasn't caught because he remote viewed where the police were going to be.
No
But this-
bullshit. So
Was that using like hidden Airbnb cameras? Sorry, so done that?
all anyone needs to do all anyone needs to do is if you're in law enforcement, all anyone needs to do would be run his ID history.
No. He was put back in time. They can't do that.
They can because time's a constant.
I know. This is the
Again,
thing.
not for share.
This is the
If
thing.
I could turn back time,
Looking at her face, she certainly did.
if I could find
Get that
a
costume
way.
again. Okay.
We should know what, mate.
I'm just going to quickly sidestep for a second. When I was on the ships, we did that song as a performance. We had a costume very similar to what Cher wore in the music
And your
video.
bollock fell out.
No. And
shame.
it wasn't me doing Cher. I was one of her dancers. Anyway.
Gay.
What was it? What was that?
Find a way. Yeah, we had a whole routine. Anyway,
It's a good job.
somebody broke into
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
Somebody broke into our backstage area just to steal.
Sorry, is that
That's
code?
called rape.
Costume.
That's rape.
No, they
It's
broke
okay,
in.
Carl.
No, but they broke into the backstage area just to steal that one costume. Now the girls were wearing bikinis in some of the numbers we were doing, and yet they had to steal the Cher costume. Somebody is wearing that with their bollocks hanging out.
No, they're
and
not. They're not.
sniffing it
I was going to
after.
say they're not wearing it. They're licking it and having
Yeah.
a wank.
And we had to go out. We had to find a replacement. We had to go to a sex shop to find something remotely similar. But anyway,
That doesn't shock me.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Tony Rodriguez.
Yeah, Tony Rodriguez, full of shit.
Absolute shit. If you're taken away by aliens to do something, why would they even bother regressing you back to the age you were and the night when they took you?
Why would they even bother bringing you back?
Exactly.
If
There's more chance of the aliens kidnapping me and saying, right, you're going to be the Norwich City manager for the next 20 years. We're not going to regress you back.
Although hell of a career you would have
and,
had.
and you're
Not
going to
really.
like swing instead of trance.
Not really, because the whole 20 years would just be me
Progressive
going,
jazz.
So yeah, 20 years of being the Norwich City manager, and you don't get regress because when you wake up at 20 years, you're still bouncing between the Championship and the Premier League. See, there's a football joke there for our non-football fans who would go, "What the fuck is Jason talking about?" But Carl knows. He's smiling. Carl knows.
I think he needs to have a shot of the old dead man's finger, but
No, he doesn't. He's off the alcohol.
there's a
Bollocks.
fucking cabinet right next to you.
Right, I have to go.
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and
We are
gentlemen,
gonna
boys
say-
and girls, we are saying goodbye to.
You got to do the dance. Jason, do the dance. Yeah. Smells Jason. Do it.
He's Welsh Jason.
Yeah. Jason, thank you very much for being our first guest in the new bar. We have loved and appreciated you from day dot. So thank you.
No, it's been a genuine pleasure, sir. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. I hope your breasts, after 2 weeks being in the fridge, are still edible.
I hope so too, to be fair. And thank you, Axl Rose. Right.
Okay, so Welsh Jason has had to leave us, so we're going to move on. And how long have we been going for? We've been-
A while now.
Not that long. We're not even at an hour yet.
Oh, well,
so-
no, we were all right.
Yeah,
It's because we've
doing
done
okay.
2. It's because we've done 2.
Yeah. Okay, so it may be a slightly shorter episode than normal, but maybe not. Let's see. Let's see where we go. Right. Moving on from the last one, I'm working from 2 different sheets.
I was going to
here.
say, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for the last few weeks.
Okay.
Right. Mainstream media going after YouTubers. Have you seen this?
I mean, it's an oxymoron, isn't it?
No.
YouTube is mainstream media.
No. Well, no. Okay, so classic mainstream media is considered to be your big news channels like CNN or NBC or Fox or all those sorts of things. They're your mainstream media. Or in this country, it would be your Sun newspaper or...
So, this is actually really weird. So, as I said, I think earlier in this podcast, or maybe in last one, when I wake up in the mornings, especially if I'm at work, I have a coffee and I watch the news.
Mhm.
And the news was saying that the youth of today get their news from the 3 top sources for anyone under 25 allegedly are, in order, Instagram
Yeah.
at number 3, TikTok at number 2, but still at number 1, YouTube.
Yeah. So I watch channels like Philip DeFranco, for example, and I watch one of my biggest ones, and he's actually one of my topics I have for this, Russell Brand. Fucking love the guy. I mean, I'm not even going to hide it.
No, since his
Legend.
reformation as a sex-addled drug addict, and he's come such a long way.
Mm-hmm.
He's now actually a very well-rounded, grounded, very
Sane.
reasonable human
Yeah.
being. And so I watch. He did a video a while back about grounding and meditation and taking 5 minutes.
Oh, he has a channel for it.
But so I watch videos of his.
Mm.
I think maybe it's only like 2 that I watch, but if I feel anxious or overwhelmed. That's how I use his video to guide me into being grounded.
Yeah.
And he's actually, people have got the wrong idea of the bloke. Like he's not the person that got famous. He's now famous and a different man.
Okay, so would you believe that they are now classing him as right wing?
Well, no, that's mental. I would class him as.
Most people would.
He's heavy left.
He's heavy left.
Heavy left.
Not anymore, apparently. He is now heavily right wing.
Yeah, well, that's a smear campaign.
Yeah. So the reason for this is because he started his YouTube channel, and to begin with, he was doing a lot of meditation things. He was posting a lot of his comedy videos and things like that. Then he started to get quite heavy into, during lockdown, for example, he was seeing a lot of the things going on in the world where people were saying one thing and doing another, and they were reporting one thing, but actually the truth was the complete opposite. So he started to do his own videos where he was actually getting the truth out there. Now, because the truth didn't fall in line with the leftist agenda that seems to be the big thing nowadays.
But the leftist agenda is what we're told by the right.
Okay, so the way that things have gone nowadays, if you are not fully heavily left wing, you are right wing. Anything left of complete left is right. Now, for Russell Brand, who is someone that has always been pretty left-wing, and at the worst centralist, he is now considered to be right-wing, because the left have gone so fucking far left that the centre is now right, and the right is far right.
Well, I think that's indicative of the state of the world today.
Oh, that's the most adult thing you've said all last 2 weeks.
I genuinely feel a certain way about it. I feel like the world either says, nope, you are left or you are right, but both views are extreme, and there's no accounting for being like a oh no, but I'm a casual Tory voter because I agree with some of their views, or there's no accounting for I'm a casual left voter because I agree with some of their views, and then so the middle isn't the middle. It's like just not extreme one or extreme two. It's okay. Such a broad demographic now that the middle's now demonized.
Yeah, this is why I have always classed myself as a centralist. Because I will not put myself in one corner. Now, I've done online questionnaires before, and I've always come out as central left.
God bless BuzzFeed.
Yeah, I know it. No, it wasn't even BuzzFeed. I can't even remember what it was. Ollie sent it to me, and you know, I did it, and I came out as, so you had like a box, and you had central right in the middle of this box, and then you could go up towards the right or down towards the right, and same with the left. And I came out down towards the left, which is left-leaning centralist. Now, for me, I've always considered myself to be right, because for me, I don't go one way. I do not. I change depending on the situation. So if I think something's right, but it turns out to be a right-leaning thing, then I'm going to go that way. However, there could be something else that we're talking about that actually I'm going to agree with that, but it turns out to be left-wing, because I go on what I believe the facts prove to be right, and what I think is right for people, as opposed to, okay, well, this is the left's point of view, so you have to agree with this.
But I think that's the point that people miss. People's personal opinions are their personal opinions, and they're based on their own personal situation or wants or needs or whatever. But there's no accounting now for, oh, that's just the way someone feels. It's now
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just the way I feel. It's now
taken into consideration.
But it's now. Oh, but that's just where I feel. Oh, but I'm this, and so you're wrong. And then all of a sudden, the I'm this, so you're wrong becomes general.
Yeah.
I'm this, so you're wrong, and our news outlets are the I'm this.
Yeah.
So you can disagree with left-wing media and be wrong, and disagree with right-wing media and be wrong, and so the general populace are wrong.
Yeah.
And if you're told you're wrong, you're more inclined to sway to whoever says they are right and is in power. Like, it's just... It's a minefield of absolute fuckery.
It's ridiculous, and this is why nowadays I don't think you can go on right or left or Tory and Labour or whatever. You can't go on the political dividing lines. You've just got to go on the particular thing, which is why me being a centralist, I go on individual situations and I will go left or right depending on what I think is right. And also the truth and the facts of the matter. With, for example, vaccinations.
I regret having them.
I have my own opinions on them. Some people disagree. The only reason I got my vaccinations when I did was because I couldn't go abroad unless I had them. But otherwise I didn't need to have them.
So the only reason I got them is because I felt that because of my job at the time... I should, and I was made to feel like because of my job I should.
But do you feel that the vaccination that we know is now not a vaccination has actually helped the world?
Also, my cousin had both vaccines and a booster, and then went to go and watch the Champions League final in France. And at the port was turned away because he didn't have his vaccinations within 6 months of travelling, which says to me they're bullshit.
Yeah, it's not a vaccine because a vaccine is vaccinating you against an illness. These are jabs that are giving you protection against an illness, but they don't actually vaccinate you.
We're going to
get quite deep here.
The vaccination was in essence what a Lemsip is to a flu. It was a symptom suppressant.
Yeah.
But we can't get drawn into that.
No. Would you like to pour me another drink?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just off the tap.
See, it started coming out the tap before you even pulled that.
Yeah, well, that's mainly because I'm such a wizard barman.
You are. There we go. Thank you very much, kind sir. So, let's go on to the next bit, shall we?
Go on.
Okay.
Something more cheery.
Okay. Do you think disclosure is coming? And if so, what do you think it's going to look like? We've already spoken about aliens once this evening. So, what do you think actual disclosure would look like if it came?
Well, I'll be honest, the disclosure that we've had currently is...
Have we had disclosure, though? That's the other question.
No, so it's still heavily censored. Is that is indoctrinated the right word?
No, indoctrinated means that you've been dragged into a belief
not that
about
then.
something.
Then blacked out. Like there are loads of things that are blacked out.
Yeah.
But then they're like, do you know what? So my view on the whole thing is, if you don't believe in life on any other planet in the cosmos, you are fucking stupid beyond all measure.
Okay, there's a difference though, because there's believing in life on another plane in this realm, whatever you want to call it.
In our one dimension. So if you don't believe in life in our one-dimensional universe,
we're not one-dimensional.
Yeah, but this is the problem.
But
So in our three-dimensional universe, then you can't. Then you won't consider the possibility that we live in a universe that has infinite dimensions, and therefore the possibility for life is definite.
So aliens, are they other beings from in our realm, or are they beings from other realms, is the other question. Or, here's the other thing that people don't think about, is the time travel aspect. Are they us, but from the future?
No.
So, many different ways.
No, so time travel is entirely possible based off of the mathematical prediction of where the spiral will be. You can travel forwards but never back. That's a fact.
So there are many different scientific ways of looking at this. Now, one thing that has definitely, by some of the biggest names in science, for example, Stephen Hawking's, considered to be one of the most smartest people that we've produced so far.
He once famously said, "Doo-doo-doo."
He also shagged his nurse. So the guy's a genius as far as I'm
I
concerned.
mean, she would have shagged him. He was a paraplegic.
I mean, yeah.
Rape.
So not only did he shag her, but he convinced her to shag him. So he's a legend. But no, so he has even come up with the many worlds theory. And for example, when looking at our universe, getting a spectrograph and looking at our universe, they found cold spots. And the reason that they believe that these cold spots appear is because that could be where another universe is touching ours, and therefore matter cannot exist in that space because it's already being taken up by matter from another universe. So there are many different reasons to look into this. Now, aliens coming to this plane, do we think that it exists? Now, personally, if you are looking at just the way, for me, if you're looking at life can exist on this world, great. So why can it not exist elsewhere? Now, I know it's rare, but if you think,
But it's not that rare.
No,
we are one planet. We are one planet that has life in 13, circling one star. How many stars are in the observable universe?
We've not even been able to test whether there's life on other planets or even moons in our own galaxy, in our own solar system, let alone our own galaxy.
Well, no. So there are the what's that fucking planet in one of our earlier episodes?
Which one?
Because we had this chat, and there's a planet that has
Do you mean
moons.
planet or moon?
No, we have was it
Io.
Io and Ganymede. So they're likely to be able to support carbon-based life like us, but we're so arrogant as humans that we think we're the elite. Life doesn't need to be carbon-based or anything like us, and that's why the search for we're just searching for liquid water. Why? Why are you doing that?
This is where we get into the many worlds theory. So the way that life was created in our universe, carbon is so prevalent in our universe that life was going to be made out of it because it is the most prevalent substance in our universe. However, if you were to somehow find a way into another universe, let's say it was something else that was more prevalent.
Silicon, for example.
Silicon, yeah. So they could be silicon-based life forms, or who knows, it could be zinc-based life forms.
Or even something that's more abundant in our galaxy, hydrogen. We're not
hydrogen, yeah.
We're only looking for life forms that are similar to ourselves, which is it's indicatively arrogant of humans.
Yeah.
But we're human beings. We've got all of this stuff. Look what we can do.
They have to be like us.
Yeah,
because
and it's so arrogant. It's so arrogant that it's actually comical.
But also, if you look at the UFO experiences that people have had, or reports, most of them tend to be over water.
But also, most of our, or not most, but a lot of our astronauts have reported, well, that's not a natural thing. That's not something that complies with what we deem as a natural thing.
Most people,
like the dudes that landed on the moon, one of the astronauts came out and said, we were told unequivocally to get the fuck off the moon.
That's Buzz Aldrin. So
Well, I didn't want to. God, I didn't know the name, but yeah, no. But
yeah,
when he's
you've
renowned
got
as
Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, and obviously
Neil,
yeah,
good old Neil.
Neil Armstrong. So
Not to be confused with Lance. One of them was a crack addict. One of them landed on the moon. And I know which one I'd rather be. No, he wasn't a crack addict. That's horrible.
Even Neil Armstrong,
Just took an inhaler.
who was Neil Armstrong, was famously a very private person. Didn't want to do many interviews. Didn't want to talk publicly or anything like that. Not long before he died, he did a
Tell-all.
no, not a tell-all. He did a public speech for university graduating students. Now, one of the most famous phrases he used from that was, "My great hope for mankind is that they will break through truth's protective layer." So he is basically saying there is this layer that you all know, but that layer has something you can break through and you can actually find the real truth. There is a reason why most of those astronauts look like they're fuming when they're doing their interviews after they landed from the moon.
And it's not just because they crash landed in the sea off the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, so there's questions over that as well. But
Well, it's because
if
they
you
did
want
it all from a Hollywood studio, some would say.
some would say,
They didn't crash land anywhere, he doesn't know what he's on about.
yeah,
I think that's a fucking great conspiracy theory fed to the populace by the powers that be to discredit. No, there's aliens. No, they're fucking. There's fucking tin hat cunts. Honestly,
we could get into that. Is a great conspiracy, and we have discussed it in the
we
past.
should.
Briefly.
We should. I reckon we should.
But after did not do any interviews because they just did not want to talk to the press. You have to question why. Some people would say it's because they didn't actually go to the moon. Others would say it's because they did, and what they saw scared the life out of them.
And they weren't allowed to tell.
There were many different reasons to interpret what happened and why.
But that's something for us to ponder in I tell you what, we will revisit that. We'll ponder that in future episodes.
We will. So, finally, one thing I've got a few other things that we could come back to, but I would just like to say about Jack Knight. A lot of people will not know who this guy is. He was a voice actor, very young. Have you ever seen Big Mouth?
I was going to say, he's the big mouth actor that recently committed suicide.
So he passed away recently at 28. His family do not want to discuss it. So obviously we want to be as caring on the matter as we can, and we don't want to go into too much. But I would just like to say that it's terrible for anyone, especially of such a young age. I mean, it's terrible for anyone to die.
28.
But at 28, you have your entire life ahead of you. This guy had a career that a lot of people would kill for. You know, he was doing well. But I just wanted to bring up and say that for me, it's such a sad story because, you know, we know about the famous 27 Club and all this sort of stuff, but anyone that is talented or even not, but anyone committing suicide is awful. Visually, I don't know how much of what we've just done you may have seen. We've had a bit of an issue with the camera there, but sound-wise, you've probably heard more of this. But I just wanted to bring that up because, you know, he was a talented guy, was respected by many people, had a very, very promising career, but it just goes to show that mental health can play a big part.
Yeah, huge. So, whilst we're getting super serious, reach out to your friend. If you don't hear from someone for a while and it's uncharacteristic, reach out and do reach out. There's absolutely no harm done in checking in on a friend and them saying, what are you on about? I'm just doing other that's fine, but there's every harm to be done by never reaching out. Equally, if you are listening and you feel like you need to reach out and you don't know who to reach out to, there are services available. In the UK especially, you can text the word shout to 85258, and that's the Samaritans, and they'll respond back to you. Or you can call them, and it is anonymous, and that's 116123. But it's a sad state of affairs when people are taking their own lives in any walk of life. It's a shame that it's only celebrities that do it, that seem to be the ones that get notoriety. Suicide is at an almost all-time high, and it's a really sad and tragic state that the world's in, where if you're in genuine crisis and you don't know who to turn to, places to turn to aren't readily available. So as I say, reach out to a friend, and if you are that friend that needs to reach out to someone, you can text, if you're in the UK, text the word shout to 85258 or call 116123, and it's 24 hours 7 days a week, and hopefully that will help you to at least speak to someone that is completely anonymous. I don't know whether that would help.
We all suffer at times, and we all have our down, dark moments. I know that this is a fun and light podcast, and we like to have a giggle. Look at last week, we like to piss around. But at the same time, I think even a podcast like this, where we're pissing around, I mean, Jesus Christ, look at all the alcohol around us and whatever, but you've got to take a minute and just think about the serious points, and think about there are a lot of people out there in pain, especially after the last 2 years with everything that's gone on. Some people were on their own for so long, and they've pulled themselves into a hole, or they've
been pulled into
it, or they've just fallen into it for whatever reason, and unfortunately they've seen only one way out. So just know that there are always people there. They may be people that are close to you. They may be people that are complete strangers. Yeah.
There's too many really genuinely good people that this world has lost because someone hasn't been there for them to bounce ideas off of, or bounce. This is how I'm feeling, and I don't know how to deal with it, and they've not been gifted the opportunity of a conversation, and it's really, really fucking sad.
It may not seem like there's other ways at the time, but give it a bit more time and you may find that way. We don't want to end the podcast on such a heavy note, but we just wanted to get that out there because it is so important, and we've all been touched by those scenarios. But thank you for those of you watching that did sit through that, because it is difficult to talk about, and that's the difficulty here. Is it's difficult for us to talk about it because we don't want to change a mood that we usually have or anything like that, but at the same time it's important that everybody talk about it.
I know not everything's solved in a day, and barely anything is solved in one conversation, but potentially a day is gained, and a day here is better than eternity not.
The way that I would like to just try and leave it is, you may look at others and think they've got their shit together. It doesn't mean they have. So please don't think that you are any less because you don't feel like you have it together, speak to somebody and talk things through. And on that, let's try and just light it up before we finish the podcast.
Shall we do on this day?
On this day.
On this day.
We didn't do it last week. And
We didn't.
I'm disappointed.
We
but that's
didn't,
part
so-
of my fault.
So anyone that listens knows that. So I only just found out that the on this day section is only relevant for recording day, and so I've never actually
2
realised that
years.
on this day's out of date anyway. So on this day, today's date is the 21st of
now you-
July.
Now you put the pressure on me to get it out there.
So on this day, Carl, as always,
Oh, fuck.
guess the year.
Right, okay.
Guns N' Roses released Appetite for Destruction, the album. Obviously, the album.
I want to say 93 or 94.
No.
No?
Earlier, way earlier. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for
Yeah.
Destruction.
Hang on, am I thinking of...
I don't know who you're thinking of.
I'm
It's
not
earlier.
thinking
It's
of Guns N'
earlier.
Roses,
Yeah, I'll
but
give
I'm
you a
thinking
clue.
of-
It's pre-1990.
What's the one? Is that the one with November Rain on it?
Look, guess the year. It's pre.
I'm trying to, but I'm trying to place it because they've got more than one album.
They've got a lot. I think it was their first commercially big album. And
Okay,
it's,
so that's where I'm going wrong because I'm thinking of the one that had some of the biggest hits on it, and I remember that being like early 90s.
no, this is pre-1990.
Okay, I'm gonna say 86 or 7.
For the astute listener, I whispered by 3 years. It's
I've got a
1987.
headphone over my ear.
So it's 1987.
I did say 86 or 87.
You did. So that's the closest you've ever been.
No, because
No,
said
you've got.
that
No, you've
twice
got.
last
No, you've
week
got.
and I
You've got.
was-
Yeah. Okay. Ready. So here's one a throwaway fact. Napoleon won the Battle of the Pyramids. So
Wow, you're really
no. So the reason I
fucking
put
testing me,
so
yeah.
the reason I put this in is because I genuinely thought Napoleon was much later in history than he was. I thought he was much later.
Is he like 1500s or something?
No, he's
I'm
later than that.
fucking
But I
being
thought he was
ridiculous,
later than he was,
1700s.
and I don't know why.
Would you like to pour me another?
Yeah. Just
Are we ready?
yeah. Oh, some solid tap technique I've got though. This must be this new Vortex tap.
It is, and do you know what? It's even got the old headphone like speaker style ports in it.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. Anyway, Napoleon, Battle of the Pyramids.
I genuinely don't know this.
No, so I didn't.
Okay, can I get a hint at least?
Yeah, it's fucking ages ago.
Fucking great hint. Oh dear.
I'll tell you.
No,
you.
no,
You know,
don't tell me, don't
you're
tell me.
never getting this.
I'm gonna say 1763.
You're a lot closer than I would have gone. So I would have gone 18 something.
Right.
1798.
Oh,
So here's one. Here's one that's going to skew your perception of time.
right. Okay.
Or two, sorry, that will skew your perception of time. So I'll give you both. I'll give you both events, and I'll ask you which one happened first.
Okay.
Central Park was created, or officially the land was put aside, or
Perfect rectangle.
the first Western Showdown, or officially recognised Western Showdown, as in cowboys marching at noon between Wild Bill Hickok and Davis Tutt.
Fuck.
What happened first? I think you know which one happened first because I said it would skew your perception of time.
I would like to say Central Park being put aside.
It did happen first. Any hazards to a guess what year?
1845.
You're a lot closer than I thought you'd ever be. It's 1853.
So close! I was 8 years away.
But then the first Western Showdown, 1865.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that what they considered to be the American West started like late 1700s.
Yeah.
I mean, even America itself started like mid 1700s.
So here's a little bit of a. So it feeds on. So we were talking earlier about astronauts, moon landings, and blah blah yakety smackety. So today in history, Neil Armstrong became the first person to step on the moon. The year was 1969.
Yeah.
What time officially GMT did he step foot on the moon? P.S. I have it to the second.
1649.
Way earlier.
So it was in like not 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, way earlier.
Oh. I thought because I remember hearing about everyone.
No. So here's the
TVs
kicker.
and stuff.
GMT.
Oh.
Greenwich Mean Time.
Yeah. So as in how it was over here compared to where it was in America. I'm gonna say 02 53.
Oh, you fucking saucy little minx. 02, 56 and 15 seconds. Carl, this has been a strong outing. This has been a strong outing. Okay, Mike Tyson famously knocked out Carl Williams to win the heavyweight title in 1 minute 33 seconds. What year?
I'm torn between 89 to 91. I'm gonna go in between. I'll go 1990.
89.
Fuck! I knew it was 89.
Okay, so this one, I'll give you the year, but I want how many copies sold. So the final Deathly Hallows book, Harry Potter, was released today in 2007.
Today being
the 21st of July, 2007.
You've just given the year, you twat.
Yeah, no, I do. No,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought we did.
How many copies did it sell in 24 hours?
Okay, now you could go over the top with this, but I know it was selling out of everywhere, and I know how difficult it was to get a copy, but I know that everywhere was stocking extra copies of it ready for this. I'm going to say, in one day...
24 hours.
563,000 copies.
Yeah, it was 11 million.
Fuck. Is this worldwide?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I went in the UK.
Well, I don't have that stat. Anyway.
I was going UK.
Chris Froome won the 100th...
Sir
Chris Froome won the 100th Tour de France. What year?
That wasn't that long ago because Chris Froome was still riding recently. I'm going to say 2016.
13.
Fuck.
I'll lead us on to birthdays.
Okay.
So, Paloma Faith.
Oh, God love her.
What year?
Paloma Faith, what year was she born?
Yeah.
She's got to be a similar age to me. So, I'll say 84.
81.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I thought she was about... I can't believe she's older than me.
Neither can I. She's in much better condition.
Yeah.
Comedy legend, personal hero, And one of the reasons I smiled every day as I was a child. Robin Williams.
Oh, God bless him.
What year?
What, die?
Born. Birthdays. We're not doing deaths this year. I mean this podcast.
Week. So he was about, what, 61, 62? I'm going to say 59.
51.
Fuck. Ah, dear.
And because I knew you'd react that way to Paloma Faith, what I've done is I've thrown in a little bonus wank bank for you.
Thank you, because
However,
I do very much like Paloma Faith.
for a woman I don't think you've ever known, Ali Landry.
I've heard the name.
She was Miss USA
Yeah.
1996. What year was she born?
I'm going to say 1979. No, hang on, what year?
Was she born? 96, she was Miss USA.
Sorry.
You're
I'm-
calculating how old makes her legal, aren't you?
Yeah.
You fucking cunt.
1970.
1973. Okay, and there's one more birthday. You definitely won't get it. I doubt you'll know who he is. Damian Marley.
Is he Bob Marley relative?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Because he's got a few sons that did it. I'm going to say 1982.
78.
Fuck!
Okay, now it's your choice. Do you want me to tell you the year for the song and film, or would you like me to tell you the song and film and you... No, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the year.
Okay.
So the year is 2010.
Hang on, so if you tell me the year, I have to guess the film?
Yeah. And the song.
Wow.
Wait, look, at this point, 2010. So you were still doing, kind of...
I was
You were still involved, kind of,
involved.
in the music scene, doing DJ karaoke sets. At some godforsaken, horrible caravan site.
No, not at that point.
Anyway, so the year's 2010. The day is the 21st of July. Number 1. I want the number 1 song and the number 1 film.
July 2010. Fuck knows for July 2010. See, that's the thing. When I've got the holiday parks there, I've got a frame of reference. 2004, I've got a frame of reference.
That's why I picked 2010.
After that, I'm like, I've got the kids and everything blurs into one. Okay, do I get a clue for the music, first of all?
Yeah, so she roared like a lion.
I'm guessing there's Ali in her name somewhere.
No.
She stung like a bee.
No, that's float like a butterfly, sting
I
like
know
a
it
bee.
is.
Roar like a lion, sting like
I'm
a
going to
bee.
say Katy Perry.
Yes.
And,
What song?
Hear me roar. What's that one
Well, it's
called?
not obviously not that song because I wouldn't have given you that clue.
I Kissed a Girl?
No. It's California
Perry,
Girls.
California Girls. Okay, fair enough. I wouldn't have got that.
What's the film? 2010, summer. What did everyone see?
Do I get a clue for that?
No, because I've never seen it.
Well, yeah, but you could still give a clue.
Could do, but I've not seen it, and I don't know. I look. It's a common thing people say when someone says something and something that are similar or the same.
Anyone else get that?
Yeah, like bag in a bag, and you'd say bag. You're going to be angry at yourself when you don't get this.
Probably. I mean, we've been going for a while.
I'll tell you.
No. Fuck.
Or a bag in a bag in a bag in a bag in a bag. In
I mean,
a bag.
Jesus Christ, you're not helping the
I am.
situation.
I am. Our listener, me, is screaming this.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, when you say bag, I want to say baggins.
Oh, look, listen, I'll put you out your misery.
Yeah, go on.
Inception. Bag in a bag is bagception.
Do you know what I've never actually seen?
Neither have I.
Inception.
No.
I heard it was a really complicated one, and I just kind of steered clear.
That's pretty much what I did. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us. Thank you again for joining us on the journey that is 4 beers deep.
And thank you. We know it got a bit heavy earlier. Thank you for keeping with us through that. And we hope you've enjoyed the last couple of weeks, especially in the new bar.
In the new bar.
And we should probably name it. Do you reckon? Or
Well,
should we go with Bar FBD?
Well, that's what you named it, so it's now Bar FBD.
We're going to have to get a sign for it then. So, Bar FBD, thanks you for joining us. Please share it with your friends. Please get more and more people joining in. We're going to... What do we call the YouTube channel, though? Do we call it 4 Beers Deep?
Hopefully.
Or do we call it Bar FBD?
Hopefully it's going to be called 4 Beers Deep for continuity's sake, and then it's not another thing I have to fucking remember.
I genuinely think...